General quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Broadcasting live on WNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, iHeartRadio, and the World Wide Web. This is Make America Think Again with your Google Blacklisted host, Tom Trento.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
To the Trento Hour. I'm Susie Gold, and it's our mission here to make America think again. We are all in a spiritual battle for America. I came in this morning and I went into Tom's office and I said, what the heck is going on? This is an extremely intense news day. As I woke up this morning, I was looking at lines, and of course it's different depending on what news station you listen to, because COVID is all over the place in mainstream media. They're trying to distract us from what other things that are going on. Like tonight is the vice presidential debates that's taking place in Salt Lake City in Utah. So you got to tune in tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And Trump, if you haven't heard yet, and you're just waking up, Trump issued an executive order for the release of all files that are related to the Russia hoax. And that includes Hillary Clinton's emails. And he said they should be unredacted, meaning that they are going to be released in their totality, uncensored. That's incredible news for all of us, all Americans, and for the world to read, to hear, to see. And then also in the news is Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York. Last night, he forcefully rounded up the scapegoats. Every generation, he rounded up Jews in New York City over the COVID restrictions, saying that he's going to close synagogues. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here we go. Once again, the Jewish people are singled out. But it wasn't said during all of those riots and when Antifa was out in the streets. But he certainly made a point of rounding up Jews. Does that sound familiar? Anyway, a very intense news day. And we also have an incredible show today. So we are on WNN and iHeartRadio. The World Wide Web. We're on 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM. Make sure that you text all of your friends and everybody you know to tune in now and listen to this show, because our guests are incredible today. And of course, we're on every morning, Monday through Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. So we have Laura Loomer on today. She's running for Congress in District 21. She's running against Lazy Lois Frankel. And we also have Rudolph Tinker, who will be joining us. We'll hear all about him and how he actually is cracking. He's kind of like
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, he's like kind of in the Black Lives Matter movement. That'll be an interesting conversation.
We have Laura? Yeah, we do have Laura.
Oh, great. Hi, Laura. Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So tell us about how your campaign is going.
The campaign is going great. We're having a vice presidential debate watch party tonight at our Wellington office because, everybody knows that this vice presidential debate is taking place between Kamala Harris and Vice President Pence. So that should be exciting. Things are going well. Ground game is strong. We have people knocking doors every single day. And Lazy Lois is nowhere to be found. She's not really running a campaign.
Yeah. And you are out there. I see your name everywhere. You are in the headlines of the news. I know some people that have said, I want to volunteer with Laura Loomer. I want to make sure that she defeats Lazy Lois. And I know you have a strong support, and you have people, boots on the ground, knocking on doors. I know some of those people, but how can others join with you to help you? How can they reach you?
Yeah, if people want to get involved with my campaign, especially in these next 26 days, because this is a critical time. We need as many volunteers as possible. You can email victory@lauraloomerforcongress.com, and my campaign manager, Justin, will get you set up with a volunteer opportunity, whether you want to make calls, volunteer, sign waving. There's a lot of different opportunities for people who want to do different things on the campaign. But we definitely need more people knocking doors.
Great. And tell me something. What do you think about Trump's executive order for the release of all files related to the Russian hoax?
Well, look, this has been probably the biggest political scandal of our lifetime. And it's time for the American people to see the truth and how they've been lied to for the last 4 years, and the way that the media has absolutely hijacked our national discourse, and really just created a lot of strife and political tension. I would argue that a lot of the political violence that we're seeing in the street today, and a lot of the riots and just complete polarization, has been the direct result of the media's witch hunt and the lie that they've been telling the American people about the Russia hoax. So this is absolutely criminal. What Hillary Clinton, Obama, John Brennan, of course, and the FBI, have been involved in doing to our country and the American people and the Trump administration.
I think Mark has a question.
Yeah, Mark.
What's this latest thing I hear about idiot lazy Lois Frankel doing a committee to campaign violation? Can you explain that? What she just did? The knucklehead.
Yeah, so like I was saying the other day when I was on your show, Lois Frankel recently gave an interview to The Forward, and they asked her what her campaign strategy was. And she said that her campaign is pretty much non-existent. What she said is that her campaign is not a separate entity from her congressional duties, which, in other words, she's saying that she's campaigning out of her taxpayer-funded congressional office, which, of course, is highly illegal and an FEC violation and violation of House ethics rules. You are not supposed to be campaigning out of your congressional office. You're supposed to have a campaign office, and then you're supposed to have a congressional office, and they have to be completely separate, different staff, and they're not supposed to have any contact with each other. And so, of course, the media is complicit with the radical left. So nobody is really going to be holding Lois Frankel accountable for what she's doing. A lot of people think that these FEC violations and FEC complaints that are filed against corrupt politicians in our country are going to be addressed, but the FEC doesn't even have a full working quorum right now. So this is a huge problem for the American people, because this means that corrupt politicians are getting away with their corruption since the FEC, the chair of the FEC stepped down a few months ago. And like I said, they don't have a full quorum to officially investigate these FEC complaints.
Is there going to be
and FEC violations?
Yeah. Is there going to be a debate between you two, or is she afraid to go against you one-on-one?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Great.
See what happens. We will see what happens.
Has she said anything, yes or no?
No, look, Lois Frankel won't even say my name. She refuses to say my name. She thinks that I don't deserve. She actually told the Jewish Telegraph Agency that I don't deserve to have a platform because I'm banned on Twitter. She said that I don't deserve to have a voice because I don't have a Twitter account. But interestingly enough, all conservatives, I guess that means, don't have a voice or don't deserve to have a voice because they're all getting banned on Twitter. Just in the news this morning, Twitter actually locked President Trump's Twitter account for tweeting about this, this scandal with the FBI and then the Russia hoax. So they are censoring the president, and a lot of people thought that I was exaggerating when I said over 2 years ago that come election time, Twitter was either going to lock or delete President Trump's account leading up to the election so that he couldn't communicate with the American people. And it looks like I'm right. So, if this is what Lois is going to do, so be it. She's not running a campaign. She's ignoring me, refuses to say my name, and refers to me as some woman banned on social media. But she's going to have to say my name on election night when I permanently retire her from this district.
I'm Maine. Oh man, you've done an incredible job, Laura. Here you are, censored on Twitter and Facebook, all social media, and you have developed an incredible campaign. It shows your fortitude, your strength, your determination, and also you will be a congresswoman to be reckoned with. And Ilyar Omar and AOC and Tlaib, they will have a run for their money with you in Congress, and you will truly represent your district and also represent every American and ensure that the Constitution is adhered to and do what's right for your district. And we wish you all the best and success. We know that you're going to make it, and you've done an incredible job. It shows what you've done for your campaign, and it's also a reflection of what you will do once you're sitting in Congress. So,
well, thank you, and yeah,
to you.
I appreciate that. And people are receiving their absentee ballots in the mail right now. And so if you're planning on voting absentee, please make sure you vote for me if you're a resident of District 21. But if you're going to be voting in person like I am, and which I encourage other people to do as well, please vote for me on November 3rd or during early voting. Early voting begins October 19th. And if you are concerned about your absentee ballot, if you're going to be sending that in, you can either walk it into 4 of the different locations located in the county, or you can just mail it in, and there's a tracking code on the back of your ballot so that you can make sure that it safely arrives.
Yeah, take an iPhone pic of that thing. Take your iPhone and take a pic of that back of that thing, and you can track it, and make sure your vote is counted.
Yeah. Great. Laura, we wish you all the best. We are backing you 100%. And all to your success. We want to see you sitting in that seat in Congress.
Amen.
So you have
Thank you
so much for joining.
You do.
Pleasure.
Have a good day.
All right, Laura,
Okay,
take
have
it
a
easy.
good
Laura
one.
I tell you,
Loomer.
if that
She's
happens, I'm buying me a
amazing.
big old bag of popcorn and Coke and just sitting back enjoying the show.
Just watching that whole thing. That's going to be a daily show.
It's gonna be a daily show.
You know what?
Watching that.
We know Laura for a long time. She's a dear friend. She's
been on
Israel with all of us many times, and we ought to get her now to sign the rights to the reality show that we produce, and we just put a camera on her in the halls of Congress.
And collect it, watch the income roll in. Yeah,
that's going to be. We could actually make some money and don't have to beg for money all the time.
I think we make a lot.
the
of
Laura
money
Loomer
with
show.
that.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to draw that contract up.
Never sign it. Or just sign here, Laura. Don't worry about it. Sign here. Don't worry about it.
Donation.
That's
We're making a
great.
donation.
Hey, we have a mystery guest.
Yeah, just came
You
in.
want to say hi?
I have.
You want to have her to say hi? real quick?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. We're live on the air.
Come
here.
on. Hey, come up here.
You can
Come
send
on,
that.
come over
I
here,
think
come
she has to. I don't know. if
2
she has to
seconds.
go.
2 seconds.
Put her on.
She's going to be on Monday too. Let's have a
Hello,
sneak
Sue
preview.
Trombino. You're live on the air.
Sue let me introduce you
Go ahead.
formally. Sue Trombino is the president of Women Impacting the Nation. And here she is at our studio, which we are blessed to have her. She's doing incredible work all over the country. Hi, Sue.
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for what you guys do. I just dropped you off 500 voter guides and platforms. So you need more, let me know.
How can our listeners get their hands on those voter guides?
Well, if you go to womenimpactingthenation.org, we can make sure that you get them. And they come from, we work with a lot of different groups, but we're working right now with Family Research Council. Phenomenal voter guides. You can go to prayvotestand.org. You'll get all the information, but I've got them right here. I just delivered 5,000 to a Brazilian church. And anyway, so just if you want them, go to womenimpactingthenation.org, leave us a message and I'll get back with you.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank
Remember
you
when
so
we
much.
Remember when we show up, we win.
That's
go.
right.
Come on.
There we
That's
go.
right.
Bye, Sue.
And Sue's going to be on our show on Monday. So we look forward to hearing more about
that's right,
the work
yeah.
that she's doing. Yeah. So thank you for those voter guides. Make sure that before you vote that you use that guide. There are amendments and you need to know what you're actually voting for when it comes to those amendments. Those are important. And also for judges, which judges should we make sure are in that seat, that prestigious position. So make sure that you vote wisely. So get your hands on, go to her website and get on Women Impacting the Nation, and make sure you get your hands on those voter guides.
I noticed just now you kindly said she's going to be on our show Monday.
Yes.
It's 9:18 in the morning, and my name is Tom Trento. I haven't said a word. This is yours. This is the Susie Gold show.
I should open.
Man.
What an honor.
Yeah, I said, can you open the show?
And she takes over for half the damn
The
show.
whole show over. Man, I'm loving it though. I'm sitting
Well, you
here.
know,
I'm doing crossword
Yeah, puzzle,
puzzles.
you know,
I'm
you know,
texting friends. You know,
talking on the car.
this is great.
I don't do as good
I could take a
job
day
as
off.
you.
I could
I've
take-
learned so much from you.
I could take a day
Welcome to the
off.
Susie Gold Show.
Yeah. Da. Now, the only problem is if you can zoom in on her fingernails.
Yeah, yes.
They're silver.
Pretty.
They're silver
Yeah.
sparkles. Kind of
Yeah.
like a woman of the night, maybe.
Yes,
or,
I'm going for a job
you know?
interview this
Oh,
afternoon. Do you
okay,
think
okay.
that this is too much?
we pray she doesn't
should
get the
be-
job.
Oh gosh.
We don't want her getting the job. No, if she does, who knows? We can
This might be too flashy. I don't know.
No,
Are
no, that's
sparkles flashy?
silver.
Susie, put your fingers up on the screen there. Hold on a second.
Should have been gold for Goldie. All right, here we go. He's zooming in on your
There we go.
fingernails.
Here, look, I don't know if you can really see them, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do.
yeah.
They
Open up.
sparkle and shine.
Yeah, no, we can see him good.
Yeah, well, I could say I went to a party last night or something. Maybe they're party-ish. I could sit on my hands.
We'll you'll report back tomorrow how things are going.
I'll
but we do
report
hope
back.
you get a job,
Well,
and then maybe
I
we
can
need
give
to get
more
a job.
donations to the
You
United
don't hope
West.
she gets a job, Tom.
I know. I know.
I don't know. I'll
Then I
miss you
gotta
guys
work.
too much. I don't know. This is gonna be tough.
Speaking of donations, Susie Gold.
Yeah.
Hey, is that like a Freudian issue? Her name is Gold, and we have her do the
We need a lot of gold.
appeal. Go ahead.
Yeah,
All
you know
yours.
what? We you see the great work that the Trento Hour is doing, that the United West is doing, to mobilize Americans to think when it comes to the election. We've already spoken about in prior shows that when Bush got elected, he won by 537 votes. How important every single vote is, and we need to be out here continuing to educate Americans about how important their vote is, know the issues, know what's going on in the world, know what's going on in America, and to keep, we are in a spiritual battle for America. So to allow the United West to continue doing the work that they're doing, they need money. And we beg you, all of our listeners, please go on the United West site, click on the blue button that says donate, and give what your heart tells you to give, because we're in a battle and we need to win this battle, and it takes funds in order for us to continue. We're going to have billboards up. We have 26 days till election day. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we need the funds in order to stay on the air, in order to continue doing the work that we're doing. So please, please, please click on that donate button. I beg you, give whatever it is that your heart tells you to give.
And click the donut button too.
Yeah, the donut. Click that one.
Donate.
And
please.
it's 9:21 in the morning on October. Where's my little number? October 7.
Hey, you got the time right.
October.
Thanks. Praise the
Okay,
Lord.
so I can say that.
Yeah, you can say whatever time is on that thing.
Okay, all right.
Oh, is that a clock?
Well, watch what happens right now. 58, 59, 9:22 in the morning. Does that work?
There we go.
All right. We love our listeners and viewers, and when we stream on the internet live, the video, even the audio, there's a inherent delay for a lot of reasons. One is if Susie Gold goes off the rails and starts saying crazy stuff, we dump her. We can dump her. And we had to use that quite a bit when Damon was here. We had to use that dump. And the other is just our signal bounces all over the place from our studio in an undisclosed location somewhere in Palm Beach, all the way down to the 50,000 watt tower, then shoots out right into your ears. So there's a little bit of a delay. So when I say the time, we want you to be able to look at your watch and say, oh, that's the time. But it's not really the time.
We're predicting the future.
Yeah, we're predicting the future is what we're doing. But we're good at that. And here's more predictions. This Friday, I'm predicting I will be in Naples, Florida, speaking to the Federated Republican Women's Club in Naples, Florida at Tiburon Golf Course. It's a private event, but open to the public. You can sign up, and if you pass all the tests, you can get in. It's going to be a great event.
Beforehand?
You have to register. You can go somewhere. Go to, we'll put it on our website, theunitedwest.org. And remember, if you go to theunitedwest.org, and I'm going to ask Mark to explain this briefly in a minute, and you get danger, Will Roberts, danger, Will Robinson, don't believe a word of it. And we obviously don't have our next guest, right? Do we have Rudolph Tinker?
I win $5, Tom.
Okay. Well, we're done with Rudolph Tinker.
Yeah, this
No
was
guests
so far.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, I like to give our guests the benefit of the doubt, but I'll tell you about him in a minute. But this Friday, I will be speaking in Naples, a luncheon, 11:30 live, but we'll also have our show on at 9 o'clock through the predictive capability of radio magic. So the show goes on. We will be here Friday, but I'll also be in Naples. If you're interested, contact us at TUW at the United West. So it's the initials for the organization, TUW at the organization, theunitedwest.org. If you want tickets for that or more information, we'll get it to you. The show goes on.
But you want me to explain something?
Yeah, when you go to our website or you try to do email or whatever, we're getting beat up by big tech. Give us a brief overview, Mark.
Well, the bottom line is if you go there and it says warning, I mean, your computer's going to blow up if you go into the site. That's not happening. And everything down to a simple nutshell is Comcast and Cisco networks, two major tech companies, are totally relying on internet security by a Cheeto-eating, online addicted gamer named Asterix. eccentric. I'm sorry. So that's where it all traced back down to one individual, one person said, and we were a bad website, and it went all the way up the food chain, all the way to Comcast, and all the way to Cisco. Believe it or not.
Yeah, and this is how
documented, proven, by the way.
Well, we're going to do a show. I mean, we're gathering all the information. There's something new every day. If I go to Twitter and my Twitter account, and I put in the URL or the domain name, like I want to link a video from the United West, boom, it stops it and says this domain doesn't meet the criteria, and I can't place our own videos or messages from the United West on Twitter.
When's the last time you tried it? I think I might have gotten rid of that.
Oh, okay. I tried it yesterday, I think, or the day before, but we'll try it when we're done.
No,
here.
it's still there. I'm afraid the fix that Mark tried did not work.
Did not work.
So there's saying that this is that we are still a spam site. So
yeah, look, I mean, they did it to Laura. Laura's banned on everything. They did it to a lot of people. They're doing it to the president of the United States of America. It has hurt us dramatically. For the longest time, a month or two, we weren't able to email to our own supporters, 50, 60,000 people who subscribe to us. We weren't able to email to them, and it crunched us financially. So your appeal is most appropriate and most necessary. But Rudolph Tinker was supposed to be here. I came across Rudolph when Governor Ron DeSantis issued his proposed legislation that will be argued in March when the legislature in Florida meets. We have a 2 or 3 month session, depending on how much stuff is there. We don't have, and I've been recommending this for the United States legislature, for Congress. I think Texas meets every other year. Their legislature to make laws. How many laws you need to make? You need to make a law every single day. So we have a 3 month period in Florida. Wouldn't it be great if the United States Congress met for 6 months or for every other year? And these people, it was like a part-time job for these people. They had to have another job and make everything so much more efficient. But you have a skeleton crew there for emergency legislation if something happens, where you go, oh, we don't have a law that covers that. Usually there's a law that covers everything. So our legislature meets usually January through March. And in light of the Democrat Party's endorsement of Black Lives Matter rioting, and they have endorsed it, notwithstanding their vacuous qualifications. We endorse the protesting part, but But when they violate the law, we're against all of that. It's completely vacuous because why aren't these Democrat legislators in these cities doing anything about it? They allow it. They say, oh, it's going to be a big party here in Portland. It's going to be a summer festival, and people died. Well, over against that, DeSantis launched some fascinating prospective legislation, has to go through our system. And he basically says it's a new criminal offense to combat rioting, looting, and violence. Combating Violence, Disorder, Looting, and Law Enforcement Protection Act. That's what he's calling it. And I'm going to read just an outline of it. And our guest, who was supposed to be on now, took an opposite position. He took a very vocal, public opposite position to what I'm going to read. And so I invited him on the show to have a little discussion, dialogue, debate, however, wherever it went. We like to have opposite viewpoints.
Sure.
We're a free and open society here.
We don't censor.
We don't
people.
censor anybody. So here's what DeSantis said. He says, I'm gonna have a prohibition on violent or disorderly assemblies. Third-degree felony when 7 or more persons are involved in an assembly and cause damage to property, to injury, or other persons. You would have thought there would be a law that said if a bunch of people get together and hurt people or property, you're going to have a third-degree felony. Not first degree, not second degree, a third-degree felony. So that's one element. Prohibition on obstructing roadways. And Rudolph Tinker was totally opposed to this. And here's what DeSantis is proposing in the state of Florida. Third-degree felony to obstruct traffic during an unpermitted protest, demonstration, or violent or disorderly assembly. Drivers, oh, this is crazy, this is very interesting. So he's basically saying these people are shutting down roads all over the place. I don't want them shutting down Florida roads. So he says, we're writing a new law that says it's a third-degree felony to obstruct traffic during an unpermitted protest. If you get a permit where you ask to shut down the street, that's a different story. And there are permits where you have parties and stuff, they shut down the street.
Well, yeah, the law enforcement agencies have a time to route EMS services. This person having a heart attack or whatever, it's already pre-planned. It's dangerous having these things.
Well, you bring up a good point because there's other people involved in blocking roadways. If you got to get to the hospital, the emergency van can't get to you now. But here's what else he said, and a lot of lefties don't like this one. Driver is not, in capitals, italicized, and that's in the legislation. Driver is not liable for injury or death caused if fleeing for safety from a mob. What do you think of that?
Yeah, if he runs over someone because they got hammers and they're beating on his window and he runs over somebody, he's not responsible. I agree with that. That's 100%. I mean, if someone's coming at me with a baseball bat and a crowbar and beating on my windows, I'm hitting that pedal on the right. I'm sorry. If you're in the way, tough. I'll deal with it later.
Well, Florida has, as many states do, the castle doctrine, which simply says your home is your castle. If somebody tries to break into your home, that's all that has to happen for you to have the assumption, the presumption that they're uninvited and they intend ill will. Mm-hmm. Boom, they're smashing your front door down. You go, yeah, danger, danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, the presumption is this ain't good. You're allowed to use lethal force to stop them.
Right.
So that's the presumption, and it carries to an automobile. If you're in a car and people are attacking you, you can use your weapon. Excuse me. No, I'm okay. Oh yeah, you know what?
Right? Hey, you have some water in there?
There's a presumption of ill will. So he's saying your car is now considered a lethal weapon. If you had a gun, you can use that. So, thank you, Mark, giving me one.
Oh, Mark.
I'm healed. I need some Cabernet, which is going up. Mark, the price of Cabernet is going up in California. You see that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
The vineyards in California, most of the Cabernet vineyards, 80% of them, we like Cabernet around here, have been destroyed. So the price of California cabs are going to be going up. That's for sure. We have to go to the French Cabernets, the French ones.
Oh, the Australians got really good Cabernets.
Yep. I like Malbec too now.
Well, yeah.
in any event, your automobile now becomes analogous to a weapon if you're carrying a weapon to defend yourself. Now, like with any situation, if you use a weapon to defend yourself, you're going to be facing 6 or 12 jurors, probably 12 if you kill the person. So there has to be a judicious use of the gun or the automobile. And the burden, you're assumed innocent, the burden's on the prosecution, obviously, to prove that you did this, you didn't have to do this. There was no other way out. But this is legislation that DeSantis is proposing.
Well, I got a question. If the guy breaks your window and you pull up a gun and you shoot him in the chest, I mean, is there two different laws that apply, or now it's just one law that applies?
I had some friends that went for their concealed carry permits and asked that question in the classes, and the instructor said, whatever you think you can convince a jury of.
Yeah,
If you can
it's
convince
true.
the jury that your life was in danger, then you're going to get off with that one. And, you know, it would seem that an average person acting normally, it would be a legitimate use of force if they're swinging a baseball bat into your car, if you have your family in there or something like that, breaking
Life
the
is
window,
threatened.
and you shoot them. I mean, that's pretty clear. Now, notwithstanding video evidence, it's going to be a problem because all the Antifa people are going to say, he just shot him. He just pulled the gun out and shot him. And my friend didn't. My friend was praying. He was outside praying in front of the window. All right. Then the next one is Coconate is going to like this when we bring him on. Let me know when he's here. He's not here
Yeah,
yet.
I just sent some messages.
The next one that Ron DeSantis is proposing at 9:35 in the morning, WNN, Tom Trento, with assisting the able host of the show, Susie Gold, here today, doing a great job. Getting you ready to take over, man.
Oh, that's not
No.
possible. No.
The next one here is DeSantis proposed legislation, prohibition on destroying or toppling monuments, second-degree felony to destroy public property during a violent or disorderly assembly. Again, I thought there would have been a law against that, but I guess not. Prohibition, number 4, on harassment in public accommodations. For a participant in a violent or disorderly assembly to harass or intimidate a person at a public accommodation, such as guess what? Such as a blank. It's been happening all over the place. Everybody sees it. Everybody gets aggravated. And if you follow the Twitter feeds or the emails, they say, if that were me at that place with my family, I would do such and such. What place am I referring to?
Mark.
What, a peaceful rally or what?
People, you're peacefully doing something, and a crowd comes.
Eating.
Restaurants. He actually says here, if people are peacefully eating at a restaurant, and a crowd comes and turns their table over and just gets involved in disrupting them, they're breaking the law. Now, the last one. RICO liability attaches to anyone who organizes or funds a violent or disorderly assembly.
That's a
George
big one.
Soros, you're going down.
That's the big one. Because the whole thing is the Soros, Steve Phillips, and all these people who are funding these protests, who are putting them up in first class hotel rooms, who are giving them first class travel seats across the country, who are busing them in everywhere, in Louisville, Seattle, Minneapolis, everywhere. And we know this for a fact.
So our guest who didn't show for the well, I guess one time we had
him and
Rudolph Tinker. He didn't show. He was going to take an opposite position that essentially all of this violates
They always chicken out, Tom.
civil rights. It violates civil rights. And the argument he was going to use, because I did research on the argument he's using, is an argument that on its surface has some persuasive elements to it. The argument goes like this. It says that it harkens back to the civil rights movement of the 60s. Martin Luther King, he would block roadways. He would do all this stuff. And when you're a minority, when you have no political power, when you have no advocacy, you have to violate the law and bring traffic to a close to get the attention of the people who are controlling your life and who have their their black boot on your neck, this kind of stuff. And therefore, we have to have the right to block I-95 traffic to draw attention to our cause. What do you think of that? How would you argue, Susie Gold, with that, with Rudolph today? I'll be Rudolph.
Okay.
Hey, we got to block I-95 to get the attention of the authorities to change the rules and get rid of systemic racism.
There are people that need to go to their places of employment, and this is a road that it belongs to the people, all people, not just people who are demonstrating. And we cannot block those roads, so we can't allow you there, but we can allow you to be in this park, so that when you're in that park, you can then the media will be, and you can then discuss your share, what it is that you have the right to share whatever it is you want to share.
Not bad, Gold, not bad.
I'd hit you. Rudo, are you going to be responsible for the guy who has a heart attack trying to get to the hospital, and you've blocked the main thoroughfare to the hospital?
There you go.
Collateral damage.
Are you going to walk up to those families and say, listen, my right to protest is more important than your husband surviving a heart attack? Is that what you're going to say to that family? And what about, go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, we need emergency.
Have you done a permit? Have you actually said, let me do a permit to block down a road? Have you ever done it the legal way? No, because you can't do it the legal way, can you? You can't follow laws. You can't follow rules because you are always a constant victim. You never take responsibility for your actions, do you, Rudy?
Rudy.
Rudy. You're wow. Yeah. It's not Rudolph.
We're
anymore.
Arguing with
Whatever
imaginary opposition here. 9:40 in the morning. Tom Trento, your host, Susie Gold, next to me. Mark.
When's the last time you took responsibility for your actions?
Mark on a good rant there. Mary, you want to weigh in on all of this?
No, I think you're doing a good job so far.
And what I was going to ask Mr. Rudolph, or Rudy, as Mark says, Rudy Tinker, whenever you're dealing with the opposition, the rest of their policy is based on emotion. So you gotta move off of that. It's very difficult to win the emotional argument. You got to move into a logical argument. He has Rudolph. I can't validate this other than reading his vita. He has a bachelor's degree, 3 masters, and 2 PhDs. Right.
And he's in the military.
And he was in the military.
That's a bunch of crap.
Oh, yeah.
happen?
I mean, come
No.
on.
I'd want to hear more about that.
And he's 42 years old, I think it is.
He's the Forrest of liberal activists.
He's the Forrest Gump. So, but he lists. What does he list on your email that you got from him? His areas of expertise. Now, we're doing this to establish a point that the individual is from the area around here, and he's a subject matter expert because the press has been going to him for analysis and information. And on his vita, he has a bachelor's degree, master's degrees, and 2 PhDs.
He calls himself professor, political science. It's just political science, criminal justice, homeland security, Middle Eastern studies, international relations.
Okay, so he does everything. And
he's a coward not coming on here.
Yeah,
what the heck? Second time.
Well, we'll.
That's just.
There may be something he may have.
He's not nice.
Look, the guy got stuck in a protest. He's in the middle of a protest. He can't get down I-95.
He can't get down on I-95.
And his phone is in the back of the car.
The highway's blocked. I can't get to a phone.
So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But prototypically, we'll use him to discuss the issue at hand. And right now, I'm going to provide some information for conservatives to debate and argue effectively with the lefties who live in a bubble of utopia floating around inside their marshmallow brains. And it's very difficult to get the folks on. But parenthetically, before I do that, overnight, we got another hit by the Orlando Sentinel saying that we're a hate group and all that nonsense. And they actually called me yesterday to interview me about an ad that we placed in a publication. The ad said, vote your values, united we stand, the United West, right? Yeah. Vote your values, united we stand, and then we had our name, the UnitedWest.org. Sure. Hateful stuff there.
Is that hateful? I don't know. Just, like, I don't know.
They wrote an article on
How
that
can they say that?
we're a hate organization, all this nonsense. So they called me. So I called them back, and I said I called the writer back, and I was taping it.
We should play the tape.
We will when we do the big expose on the Sentinel. I taped it, and oh, thank you very much for calling back. I said, sure, no problem. I said, just by the way, I'm taping this, and you were there, Mark. What did the guy say?
He goes, why are you taping this?
I said, well, I may have no reason, or I may have some reasons. You know, I was playing with his head at that point.
Oh, we have a call. Who's the caller, Mary?
Do we have Frank?
Frank Coconate.
Oh,
yeah,
Frank
Coconate.
Frank, so happy you joined us. Frank Coconate.
Well, you know, for an old guy like me, it's hard to do these modern ways of getting in.
Are you on video? Do we
Glad
have you?
You made it.
Do we have you on video?
I don't know about the video.
No, he didn't figure that out.
He's only on
Yeah,
the phone.
that's a little too much for me. You know what I mean?
Coconati, you're running
to hear your voice.
You're running a gigantic movement in America to organize Italian people to stop these crazies from knocking down Christopher Columbus, and you can't work an iPhone. What are you doing, man? You know?
yeah, I know. That's a great point.
Here's
no, we're in a real fight here. You know, these Antifa and Black Lives Matters people are pretty evil people, and they really started a big fight with the Italian Americans. But not only the Italian Americans, Americans in general, and the people in Italy are involved now. The parliament, a woman, congresswoman from Italy has put up something in the parliament that they're very upset and want some kind of explanation from these cities.
All right, let me give everybody a little context for Frank Coconati from Chicago, where I went to school there. Back a couple of months ago, when all the rioting and Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, in the still of the night, took a significant Christopher Columbus monument down that was in the middle of a highly traveled tourist area and business area. And, you know, they had been attacking statues, Christian statues, historic statues, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Well, Frank saw that. And what was your response? And tell us what occurred from a month or two ago when all of this happened to where you are now with leading a movement nationally.
Well, when it first happened, I was asked to speak in Little Italy in Chicago, and there was a group of people. I didn't think it actually would go as big as it did. But anyway, I went there and spoke and pleaded with these terrorists that, why are you doing this to the Italian Americans? We came here the right way. We fought hard to be Americans, to be, to become Americans. We fought hard, worked hard, build our neighborhoods up, and we went and we worked hard to get this statue, get this holiday, Columbus Day, and it just, was a real insult, and it hurt us very much when they started, attacking Columbus, Christopher, for what everything is wrong with America. They're blaming on Columbus, and I pleaded with these terrorists, these Black Lives Matters, and these Antifa people, and the mayor and the politicians. Don't touch this statue. Naturally, they took it the next week or the next couple of days. But I pleaded, and I got a big, and could I say F you?
Yeah. Well, you can say F you.
Well, I got a big, they just went with their plans, and the mayor said, "Oh, we're just taking them down so no one gets hurt." Well, the whole city was on fire. People were getting beat up and robbed by these Antifa and Black Lives Matters. So that excuse didn't, carry any weight. So anyway, I went on and started speaking. I was invited to Philadelphia and Boston and Baltimore and New York. And we started trying to organize the Italian American. We have a group called Hands Off Christopher Columbus on Facebook that's really gaining some speed. And we're actually trying to get to the president. to step in and try to, order these people to put these statues. It is still considered a federal holiday.
Yeah, and I think that federal holiday
ahead.
is coming up. It's coming up this
Monday.
Monday, Christopher.
Monday.
So you have been all over the country now organizing this. What is, and you can't use, any bad words. Okay, I know you.
I know. But I get angry. I just was suspended from Facebook for attacking the teachers on the holiday. They get paid to be off, these teachers that don't think Columbus is the devil, and but they enjoy the day off, paid holiday, federal holiday. So I just got suspended for attacking them. So go ahead.
What is the feel on the street? I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, Italian family, Italian neighborhood. My grandparents are all my aunts and uncles from Italy, all of this stuff.
Right, Tom, right.
And I watched my relatives would say when people were speaking Italian in the house, stop speaking Italian. You're in America. You speak
right,
American.
Exactly.
You speak American,
exactly.
Right? There was an assimilation. Didn't lose the cultural element of the majesty and wonder and history of Rome, of Italy, good, bad, and indifferent through 3,000 years of history. But
celebrated every religious holiday, celebrated Christmas with the family and the food. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to interject.
Everything like that. Me and him talking would be very interesting. Everything like that. Besides the fact that we make the best food in the world, and we all know that. I mean, that goes without saying.
Right, correct.
But I saw, even in my own family, a commitment, dedication to the United States of America, assimilating, wanting to be an American and speak English. It was so critical, so much a part. In fact, I was the first kid, I think, that didn't learn Italian because they wanted me to speak English.
Correct.
So now when you're on the street running around Philly or Boston or New York talking to the Italian people there, what is their feel? What is the sense of Italian people on the street?
Anger, insulted, and why nobody's stepping up. The president or any Italian American leader. And these Italian American organizations seem like they're ducking and hiding. Knights of Columbus won't even acknowledge it, and they're named after Columbus. Knights of Columbus will not step in. The mood in Chicago is anger and ready to fight. It's like a war. Mayor Lightfoot speaks for a small percentage, as does the city council here. Majority of people are just in an uproar. Americans, American, not just Italian Americans, Americans with these socialist values she promotes. I mean, like I listen. This is about good and evil here, and the good people are getting stepped on all over the country.
All right, Frank, here's what we're going to do. You're coming on next Monday on Columbus Day. We're going to do a special show, a special segment on Columbus. We're going to look at the good, the bad, the indifferent. What did the guy do? What are the facts?
Correct.
We're going to talk about that. And so we will see. We got to let you go now. I just wanted the folks to meet you. And we will see you on Monday on our Columbus Day special. We're going to have macaroni here. We're going to have wine.
Maron.
Frank, the key word is see you.
Listen, all kidding aside, I appreciate the time. I've been pretty blacked out in Chicago here with the media and the liberal media, and I do appreciate it because there's a huge message out here. There's like a war brewing in this country, and it's good versus evil, and I'm ready to talk. So just let me know when on Monday.
All right,
15 a.m. your time. That's
Frank,
Chicago time.
Quick question for you.
And maybe I'll figure out the camera.
No, we want to see you for sure. We'll figure that out.
Frank,
like
question.
I'm such a good-looking man.
Frank, quick question. Is it pasta or gravy? Pasta sauce or gravy?
I actually say gravy.
A man after my own heart. It's gravy. It's always been gravy. It always will be gravy. All right, Frank. We'll see you. Take it easy.
You take care. Thank you.
Monday, remember 9:15 Eastern Daylight Time.
Every Sunday.
You got it, Anna. Thank you. I will remember.
All right.
You be well.
Every Sunday, before we went to church and everything, my mother would have big pot making gravy. We take the Italian bread, dip it in there, eat the Italian bread, dipped in the gravy, not sauce. But anyway, 9:53. I want to play that new PSA we have, but Frank referenced several times the battle between good and evil. We need more time for these shows. We do. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see good and evil personified in the debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence. I mean, literally, if you evaluate the two worldviews, the two views of life, the two political philosophies of both, you're going to see one that is in accord with the U.S. Constitution and the Judeo-Christian principles, a spiritual battle for America, and the other one, which is progressive, means Marxist, moving in that direction, removing God and rewriting the Constitution. Why do you think they're fighting over the Supreme Court issue? You're going to see the personification of good and evil this evening. Don't miss it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We have a PSA, public service announcement, about what Michael Bloomberg, is trying to do here in the good state of Florida. Let's see if it works. Nope. Okay. Nope. Next time. All right. Well, Susie Gold, Frank's going to be an interesting guy.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he was able to join in. Even if it was brief, but we're going to hear from him again on Monday.
Now, you and Mary need to work with him to get that camera working.
I know. We'll get it together.
Because he's very expressive, and he makes great television.
We need a good visual too.
He makes great television, so he's a good guy. But I tell you what, you heard the president 9:55 in the morning. Got a couple of minutes left. You heard the president several times. He said at Columbus Circle in Manhattan, when you go to the Upper Manhattan by Central Park, there's a circle, cars drive around. Right in the middle is a big, gigantic Columbus statue. Well, here we go.
Will send you fast cash. Do you want the election determined by ex-cons and Bloomberg? Stop this horrible conduct. Get out and vote Republican.
Well, thanks for the
100,000 ballots go missing in New York City. Ask the New York City mayor and governor. Biden supports mail-in voting, which enables voter fraud. Vote in person and avoid this situation. Expose Biden for the crook he is. Former New York mayor is looking for felons to steal the election. If you're a convicted felon that didn't pay fines, please contact 800-BUY-A-VOTE. Michael will send you fast cash. Do you want the election determined by ex-cons and Bloomberg? Stop this horrible conduct. Get out and vote Republican.
All right, that sounds a little aggressive, a little PSA, but Michael Bloomberg said, I want the ex-felons, I want Hispanics and blacks. There's a preponderance of voting for Biden, and I'm gonna buy their votes. I'm gonna donate to an organization which is gonna pay all their fines and everything. And it pissed off a lot of Floridians. Like, let the process work. Now, I think legally he's fine. I think all the investigations are going to go nowhere with this. But just, morally, you go, what are these people doing? And if Joe Biden is ahead in Florida by 20 points, why you got to do that? And why does Bloomberg have to pour in $100 million? There may be a billboard or two up in the near future talking about this. So,
buying
to be continued.
Votes.
Take us away. I think that's it. Susie, why don't you say goodbye?
Yeah, bye everybody.
Well, I just want one thing. My new name for Kamala is Yo Mama Harris. I think that's going to be her new nickname because she's going to come out strong and hard. Since we have 15 seconds left on our clock, we could go out at the 32nd hour. That's what I'm trying to.
Oh, you're still. I don't get the Yo Mama, but
Yo Mama Harris.
Tomorrow we have great guests. We have Willie G coming on. He organized and orchestrated Trump's Corner. And Naharin Anwea. Great show lined up. Tune in 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Yeah, I was confused about this.
Yeah.